That's why we do this.
Yeah, man, you already know. So, all right, let's get into um a topic that is set to be controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I say that because I've seen this topic on YouTube already. But I thought it
Okay.
was good for us to have our own version of the shit because I think I got something different to say than homeboy that made his shit.
I
For real.
feel it. I know you ready for this. I'm ready for this.
So the topic is marriage necessary? Is marriage why you laughing, bro?
Because hey, I know when everybody heard you say that, the first person that popped in their head was their mama. I promise, because they was like, oh, if I listen to him, or if I accept some of the stuff he's saying, she not, like, oh, that's not right. My parents didn't do this. My family didn't, raise me doing this. They think it's straight
Man.
tradition. But we are in 2020 now.
Right.
Mindsets and people personalities have shifted.
For
So
sure.
we got to keep that in mind. And that's my caveat, because I already know you finna throw this one up and
Man.
rock it. So hey,
Man.
hey,
I'm gonna take my time with this one, dog.
yeah, people need to hear this, and they really need to like just be open minded and just really understand what we gonna say. You feel me?
So is marriage necessary? No. All
No.
right. No.
Yeah, that's my
And
answer. No.
and the thing is, marriage is not necessary because marriage has very little to do with the relationship itself and with the dynamic. I do think that relationships are necessary. I think
Right.
companionship is necessary. I think healthy partnership and communication is necessary. But what a lot of people fail to realize is that marriage is a business entity. It is
Mm-hmm.
not based, it is not rooted in romance, feelings, or anything. It is literally a business partnership.
So then, just to make sure that I'm following along with what you're saying, is that marriage is different, is a totally different entity than a relationship. Marriage
Correct.
as a it's like a thing. Marriage is just like a almost like the show of the relationship, or the bells and whistles of the relationship kind of thing.
Well, I don't even think it's the bells and whistles. When I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking about legal documentation
Okay.
that states that y'all two are a union, that you and your
Right.
partner are a union under law. And y'all's relationship is governed by
Governed. Yep.
by law.
Okay.
So if there's an issue in the relationship, now you both are at risk to
The court systems.
losing
Hmm.
your livelihood and your earnings and all your worth due to the court system that knows nothing about the
The
dynamics of y'all's
dynamics. Yep.
relationship. So
Hmm.
all it really takes is one or both parties to have a disagreement or become upset
Hmm.
at each other or do something that y'all stood in front of the pastor and said for better or for worse. But when it's for worse, y'all want to get a divorce.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
divorce costs money,
Yeah.
splitting funds and goods costs money. If you
Moving out costs money.
moving out costs, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like for me, I say marriage is not necessary because I firmly believe you can have everything you want from what you believe a marriage to be without
Hmm.
signing any paperwork.
Ooh, that's church. I agree. I
No, for
100%
real.
agree. I agree with the same exact thing. I feel like the roots or the foundation is the relationship. I
Hmm.
feel like until you really master your relationship, and if you really master your relationship, you do not need to bring, just like you're saying, the governing portion of it into it. You don't need to bring anything outside into that, because you know for a fact that you and that person can stand with each other with no outside parties that can really interfere or affect anything. So I totally agree.
Yeah, man. A lot of times we know that the majority of the time, right?
Hmm.
Excuse me. Marriage is pressed and pushed by
Hmm.
the woman. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's pushed and pressed by the woman because for many different reasons, rather. So you have women who they want or desire that validation to know that they're worthy or to know that
Okay.
they're the only one that's in the man's life and all of that, type of shit.
Because
Um,
that's going
you
100%
have
guarantee it.
you have others, you right. You have you have others that have placed a very big investment into the relationship, and now they looking for the man to pay up.
Right.
So it's like, I was there for you, I supported you, I picked you up off your feet,
Now I need this.
all of this.
Hmm.
Now you need to make an honest woman out of me. And then, as we segue from the honest woman comment, you have some that just get married because they got pregnant.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we have a kid together now, we have to, or we should get married because we have a child, and I want a family, so the child can be raised on a family with two people. And it's like, okay, in every scenario, you checking off a lot of boxes, and we've
Right.
yet to really speak to the dynamic of two individuals joining forces.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know,
It's a lot that goes into it that
right?
you like that they like to overlook and that they don't like to dive into or have conversations about realistically.
And some of it too is, I don't even think what's scarier to me, bro, is that I don't think it even comes from a place of neglect as it comes from a place
Mm-mm.
of blissful ignorance. Like, they
Yep.
don't even know that they don't even really know what they're signing up for. They get on
Hmm.
social media,
Social media, bro. I,
and they
I was waiting on
see
this. I was waiting
and
on that.
and they see wedding pictures, and they see fucking couples doing couple
Their friends,
workouts and
bro. Their
shit.
their friends influencing them to, because they see it. Everything is gonna look good on social media. Nobody's gonna put the bad, or the hard work that's really going on in the, in the behind the scenes. So
Right.
it's like I feel like they see their friends getting married. They see all these, them going and doing things together.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, do you know if those two people really like each other, bro? Like, do they really fuck with each other? Are they really friends like that? A lot of people, I feel like they create a timeline.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, we've been talking for this amount of time. What's next? Oh, I feel like after this point, now you need to, present me with the ring, and then we need to be married by the next year.
You know.
That's not how this works. I feel like you cannot constrain or put a timeline on the building or the upbringing of a relationship with a person. If you really are vested in that person and you really care for that person, who they are, and you care about yourself as well, that
Mhm.
takes time, bro. You have to be able to piece things together, see what that person doesn't like, and are you okay with accepting that that's not what they like? Not trying to
Mhm.
fix what they don't like. You have
Mhm.
to accept that they don't like this certain thing in order for you to really appreciate that person. And I feel like people, they overlook all that stuff. They try to rush it, and it never works, bro.
Yeah, man. I think another thing too, bro, and this is me more so coming from like a personal perspective. When I think
Hmm.
about marriage, and then seeing marriage being pressed, and then seeing things around men and commitment, being like a forefront issue. And I
Hmm.
understand that many men have commitment issues as it
Right.
relates to their physical body, you
Right.
know. And I think a lot of mass media highlights men's issues with containing and being committed with their physical body.
So now, when you say physical bodies, I want you to explain that because I feel
So
like some people are
yeah,
gonna miss that.
yeah, for sure. So physical body is the hot topic, nigga. Cheating. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yep, exactly.
Cheating.
Hmm.
Don't cheat on me. And,
Right.
and and here's my thing. That is a valid request. That is a
Right.
reasonable request and concern. And I'm not shading nobody for that being, one of their
Yeah,
primary,
one of their preferences. Hmm.
like, yeah, one of their primary core care abouts within a
Hmm.
relationship. My problem is that when that is the only thing that you care about, if me not fucking nobody else means that we're in a good
Yeah, that we're
relationship,
happy. Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
problem for me.
Hmm. One
Because
hundred
it's
percent, bro.
it's it's so much deeper than that, bro. So also, what I want to highlight too is that you always see, or you typically see, not always, but you
Hmm.
typically see women talking about all these horror stories they have with men.
Right.
And that shit is comedy to me, bro, because okay, I'm very proud to say nowhere in the world, any woman I've dealt with on a short term, long term, fuck buddy, kind of sorta in the
Right.
middle, You know what I'm saying? Doesn't
Mhm.
matter the dynamic, or the paperwork, for
Right.
lack of a better term. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what we called it. There's no
Mhm.
woman in the world I can point out and you can walk up to her blindly out of nowhere and ask her about me, and she has a cliche horror story about me.
Right.
Did we have disagreements? You fucking right we did. Did we fight and
Right.
argue about some shit? Of course. Did we split? Clearly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Clearly, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't have the cliche like, oh, that nigga was using my car. He was sleep on my
Mhm.
couch. He was a mama's boy that didn't know how to take care of
Right.
himself.
Yeah.
He was a hoe
Mhm.
ass nigga that was calling me bitches and hoes and slapping me upside. Like, I don't have none
Yeah.
of them fucked up stories, bro.
Mhm.
So like when a woman steps into my world,
Right.
I'm war ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
bro, at one point I had two cars, two brand new cars. I had two
Mhm.
dogs. I
Yeah.
had my own spot.
Shit was together.
I have multiple jobs and sources of fucking income. I have
Mhm.
zero cosigners, nigga.
Right. Yeah.
Zero. Like
Yeah.
no one
On
helped.
paper, you
Right.
the top pick. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
wash my own dishes. I wash and fold my own
Yeah.
clothes.
Your house is
I
clean.
clean my
Yeah.
bathroom. I do that shit. Like
Yeah.
The Easter Bunny and Santa Claus don't show up and take care of me, mo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
No, for sure.
I have a growing relationship with my mother, which I would consider good, but
Mhm.
we had some shit to work out, in the
For sure.
past. So
For sure.
I'm not a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mhm.
Like I don't run to my
You can stand on
mom
your
and
own. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't call her for shit. I don't call my dad for shit. I don't owe nobody no bread in the family. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I don't I don't have
Oh.
I don't have that backdrop of traditional drama that
Right.
a significant percentage of men bring to the table. So when
Mhm.
a woman steps to me and literally all of my shit is in order, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we begin to form a relationship. We begin to
Mhm.
start to get to know each other. And then she presses me
Yeah.
about what I need to do.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sitting there like,
Hey, did you
hmm,
slap that resume on the table like, hey, do I
yeah.
need to let you read this one more
Um,
time?
but bro, it's like I'm fully aware of what I bring and what I add, right?
Mhm.
My thing is most women, and this is not the women's fault, but most women add such a high amount of value to the men that they date because most men in the world don't have their shit together.
Yeah, they don't have their shit
So
together, right?
women are running on autopilot within the frame of I make you better. But when they step to me in my world, they don't make me
Right.
better.
Yeah.
Like
You need somebody
they
that's either gonna match that energy, right?
you
Or
know
somebody's gonna put you on something.
So it's like you may make me happy. I enjoy my time with you. I enjoy doing for you,
Mhm.
in regards to what I'm willing to give and what I'm, willing to offer, within that time frame of our relationship growth.
Right.
But you don't get to press me about what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like
Mhm.
you need to make it about what you're gonna do, and then because my thing
Yeah. Yeah.
too because my thing too with like pressing me about where is this going? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
My problem with that is like, are you really connected to me, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Or are you just out here looking for a husband for hire?
Right.
And
That's what I need, that
yeah,
organicness, bro. Like what you're saying. Like there has to be some form of that's the level of, do you really, like, do you truly fuck with me? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like you already see what I can do, what I'm about without you. You already see what I am.
right,
What are you gonna do in this situation? Not that if you're gonna help better me, but are you gonna be able to mold and mesh with what I already have going on?
right.
I don't have no stress. I don't have nothing that's bringing me down right now.
Hmm.
Are you okay with continuing to help
Right.
me, to lead that same
And
type of life?
and that
Because at the
is
end of the day, what it sounds like to me that you're saying is that peace is what is going to hold the most, the most high. You need peace, because if you bring in something else outside to what I already have going on that's not positive,
hmm
well, where are we going? What do you mean? What's next? There's
right.
nothing going on next,
Yeah.
because at the end of the
Tomorrow.
day, that's what I need.
Tomorrow is
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, straight up. And then two, I'm a man that values conversation. Like I value deep thinking. I value a
For sure.
woman. I value a woman to where when I ask you a question, you don't freeze. You know what
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I know. Yeah. You say that
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah. I
yeah,
feel you.
bro. And my thing too, like when it comes to sex, like I fuck a lot of women up because I don't really value sex from a emotional perspective or from a nut busting perspective.
Right.
Like
Right.
for me, sex is a performance thing for the woman. So
Mm,
even in
okay.
that, and even in that regard, like my entire like energy base is to please her. Like I want her going fucking crazy in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't, man. I've
Hmm.
I've 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 fucked before and not even nutted, nigga. And I
Right.
was
Yeah.
and I was good because
Yeah.
she was out of there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Lackluster,
Like
to
I
say the
was
least. Yeah.
great because she was fucking passed the fuck out, come
Hmm.
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Hmm.
good. If you
Yeah.
good, I'm
Yeah.
not fucking to get my nut. So
Yeah.
in that regard too, I'm not like a lot of men out here who are jacking off with women's bodies and not trying to please them. Like my
Yeah.
sole focus is to please you. I want you
Yeah.
going crazy. I
Yeah.
want
You
you
want. Yeah. You
I
want her to
want
act a
you
fool. Okay.
completely in Twilight Zone
Yeah.
when we in the bedroom and nigga, me getting the nut off is bonus. You
Right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Hmm.
and that's just the type of dude I am. Like no cap. Once again, go
Hmm.
go find a woman on the street I've dealt with, and they'll
Yeah.
tell you
Yeah. They're
if
gonna
they
say the
being
same shit.
honest.
Yeah.
If they being
Hmm.
honest, they'll tell
That's
you.
real. No. Yeah. That's
So
real.
I don't value sex like that. So
Mm.
when we fucking and you try to use sex as this type of voodoo leverage, nigga,
Yeah. Some leverage. Yeah.
you can't
Hmm.
hypnotize me with that shit.
Right.
You can't
Hmm.
you can't threaten me with the possibility of you fucking somebody else and I'm gonna lose your vagina. Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
give a
Cool.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
we good. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I can sit up here and talk to a girl that I'm interested in or that I'm dating about other dudes that she's fucked.
Right. Exactly.
She
Yeah.
can tell me the whole story and I'm not
And
flinch.
you cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
You ain't worried
good.
about it. Yeah. Hmm.
And that shit throws women off, and I understand, but I can only be me, bro.
Yeah. And then what's the term that you use? You devalue the
Yeah. So
vagina, right? I mean,
yes,
and that makes sense. What you're saying right now, and the way you explain that actually makes sense, because if you take the pussy off the pedestal, we got to really get down to the nitty gritty. Like,
for
what are you
sure,
really about?
for
It's a
sure,
lot of vaginas out here in the world,
for
and I'm
sure,
sure it's a lot of them that's better than yours.
for
But
sure.
at the end of the day, that's not really what's gonna captivate me. That's not what's gonna keep me here.
Right,
Are you going to be here for my sanity? Are you going to be here for our sanity? Are we going to be
right,
able to build, create an empire, live a promising and a life that other people can look back on like, they really had some shit going on. Like sex is
right,
sex. We all know that, bro. We can go have sex with everyone too. We can be married and go fuck somebody else, cheat, whatever you want to call it. That
right,
shit don't matter. Niggas really care about being able to be happy, being able to be in peace, and really having somebody that they vibe with, somebody that they really connect with. And I think that's where a lot of marriages fall short, because they do not set up a relationship first.
right.
So I think that's the problem.
But for the topic of conversation, is it necessary? I mean, we can do all of the things that you think a marriage is supposed to be without signing them damn papers,
Without signing the
and
papers, yeah.
and without putting me at risk because my issue is that, and this is just my own personal experience.
Hmm.
At some point in the relationship, at some point between A and Z, it becomes about what I'm going to do, what I'm going to fix, what she gets, the experience she's receiving, and all this other
Hmm.
shit. And I definitely like I'm not immune or blind to the male female dynamic. I know that those are things that are inevitable. I understand that 100%.
Hmm.
My issue is that me, and I say it on just about every fucking podcast. I'm all about the win-win.
Yeah, the
So I'm
win, yeah.
like, I
Hmm.
I tell you what, move in.
Mm.
Let's start a family. Let's have a ceremony. Let's post pictures on goddamn whatever the fuck for
Yeah.
for validation and shit.
Yeah.
We
Hmm.
gonna live as a married couple, but let's not sign them papers, because if you decide the marriage is not what you want it to be,
Yeah, what you want it to
or
be.
if you decide you wasn't done being a party girl, or if you
Mm.
decide I'm not all of the man you envision somehow. Or you decide this relationship is great, but it's a little too great. I need some chaos in my life. All of
It's
that
not
shit,
toxic enough.
all of that shit is beautiful, bro, because
Right.
I understand the female dynamic in nature. I'm
In
not
nature.
shaming them for that. My
Yeah.
thing is that if you really want this to be about us and not just about you, I
Right.
need some shit to keep me sane and comfortable
There
to
you
know
go.
that if shit goes left
Oh, you
ba-
gonna go live with the shit.
based on some shit I didn't do, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? I don't have to fear losing the last 25 plus years of
Mm-hmm.
growth and hardship and progression and professional development and earning potential that has been built up all by
Ooh,
myself
that's facts. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah.
because you decided you wanted to do some other shit, or
Mm-hmm.
you decided you wanted to be turbulent, or you
Mm.
decided you wasn't done living a part of your life, or you had kids too early or too
Right.
late. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen,
For
and
sure.
I'm fine with that. But the only thing I want out of you is to leave that paperwork out so it
Right.
keeps both of us honest. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Mm-hmm.
keeps both of us honest. It keeps both of us in a performance based,
Yeah.
like it keeps us both
Accountable.
having accountable and having the focus on the relationship and not about you being comfortable in your security to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you feel like
What you
doing,
want to do? Yeah.
because you
Mm-hmm.
know at the end of the day the court system is going to rule
Yeah.
in
They
your
got your back.
favor,
Yeah. They
and
got
they
your
gonna
back for sure.
fuck me over. And
Yeah.
even if that's not in the front of your brain, you have to deal and be with a woman who understands that innate fear
Yeah.
and drawback from a man's
From a
perspective.
man's perspective. Yep. Mm-hmm. And see, that's really trash that they. I feel like a lot of people don't think that deep into it because that literally plays a part. If you care about that person so much, you got to remember that, okay, if you're gonna take this route to, to really end this, to really get out of this, that there's a lot that's finna go into this. This other person that you're trying to separate from, it's a lot that's finna happen to them, not just financially, mentally, all that
Mhm.
traumatic that they finna have to go through, and you got to live with that. If you okay and you can live with that, you're sick. Like you're you're a fucked up ass person, bro. I feel like that's not love, bro. So I'm not. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, bro. That shit, that's not cool, bro. That's not
Hey
cool.
man.
So let me ask you this before I ask my second question. I'm gonna say this. So then, really what I think it is you have to know who you are internally before you can even go the route of even asking yourself the question, is marriage necessary?
Spot
Is
on.
this the step that I want to take? I feel like until you know who you are and what you're about and what, just like you said, what you bring to the table, you already know who you are because you knew your resume and what you brought to the table already. I
Hmm.
feel like sometimes a lot of women don't really do that fact check. They don't go through the list before they bring up the, okay, so where do we go next? Or, what are we, or what are our next steps? Until you can do that with yourself, there's
Hmm.
no way that you can try to, wrap me up and tie me along to participate in this shit, bro.
Yeah, bro. But
As a marriage.
yeah, for sure. And I think what works against a lot of women, because we can talk about social media and everything else, but I think what
Hmm.
works against a lot of women is that as men, I'm gonna shine the light on men right now. Men have to do a better job of holding women more accountable for things
Hmm.
other than sex.
Right.
So you have generations and you have decades of fucking women who have only really been judged on either how they look, how much
Right.
ass they can throw, if they can cook and clean, and then everything else is not really based on a performance level. It's just based on like, oh, here she go tripping, here she go
Yeah.
starting shit, here she go
Ooh.
fucking some shit up, here she go just doing some shit, here she go
Yeah.
not understanding me. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that
That's yeah,
shit.
that's my biggest fear,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
That's
Like,
living in misery, bro. That's like
yeah.
you know the possibilities of what can happen, but you so stuck on, oh damn, man, she really bad. Like, am I really gonna be able to find somebody better than
Fuck
her? Like, her shit's
that,
so wet, bro. Am I really gonna be able to find somebody? And it's like,
nigga.
it's not even about that. Once you really like get down to it, bro, it's so much more about your sanity, your peace, y'all sanity, your peace, and how well y'all can just mesh together, bro. And then here's my other question, just to kind of switch lanes. Do you think that women are more, they're more wanting the wedding or do they want the marriage? Do they want the show? Is that what's really, pushing them to pursue
Man,
this, or is it the fact that they really want to be with this one person?
it's mostly about, because to answer your question, it's the
Hmm.
wedding, right?
Right.
But to me, the wedding is a representation of winning. You know what I'm saying? And it's a
That podium when you get that
yeah,
medal, huh?
you know what I'm saying? But it's a representation of the idea of what life should look like or what it could look like. So
For a few
as
hours.
for maybe a few shit, maybe a few years, bro. Shit, maybe 20.
Now I'm
People.
saying the presentation of the weddings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah,
few
yeah.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But like when it comes to, like, from what I've seen, what I've experienced, not when you, but when I've talked to women about marriage and the next step, is
Hmm.
that it's almost like driving like a brand new luxury car or some shit, right?
Okay.
Okay, so imagine you have a car, right?
Hmm.
And your whole life you've been driving buckets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And your whole life, and this is me relating it back to women, the whole
Hmm.
life they've been driving buckets. And every day they're like, fuck this bucket. One day I'm gonna have a nice ass car, and the car AC is gonna fucking work, and the windows won't
Yeah.
be broke, and the transmission won't be fucked up, and all this shit.
Hmm.
So a lot of women deal with buckets, as a metaphor for fucked up
For
dudes,
trash
or
niggas. Yeah.
just
Hmm.
whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? They save up their money, they decide to trade the bucket in, or they decide to sell the bucket. I'm tired of this, tired of driving this bucket. I'm tired of being hot. I'm tired of being stressed. I'm
Right.
going to buy me a motherfucking Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
then they got all the money saved up, right? As
Okay.
as it relates to their resume, the resume
Hmm.
talk.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
they went into the car dealership, they looked the part, the credit score is there, they got the
Hmm.
bread, they got the down payment.
Down payment.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So now you're like, okay, like you're qualified for this conversation. Okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
you've met the prerequisites.
Hmm.
So you fill out the paperwork, and then you get the Lamborghini.
Right.
So then you get in the Lamborghini. Oh my God, it's so pretty, it's so beautiful. It's a fucking Lamborghini. So
Right.
the Lamborghini would be like the relationship. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Get in the fucking relationship car. But remember, you've been driving buckets your whole life.
Buckets. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you get into the Lamborghini and then you look down and it's like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? And that's a manual transmission.
Yeah.
It's not it's not automatic. Like, no, you have to steer that bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm. You got the shift.
you gotta
Yeah.
time up your foot with the
Hmm.
shift, and you gotta do the fucking arm shit, and you gotta have that shit in the right gear at all
Yeah.
times, or you're gonna fuck up the car. You know what I'm saying? So then they finally jerk
Yeah.
and scoot their way out the parking
Hmm.
lot, right? They driving down the street, and then now you got
Right.
motherfuckers like staring at them as they drive down
Looking
the
at you
street.
like,
And
yeah.
then they looking like, why is everybody staring at me? This makes me uncomfortable. Like, yeah, bitch, you've
Hmm.
been driving buckets. Like,
Yeah.
you got a
Exactly. Yeah.
Lambo now. So now niggas are peeping your shit. Niggas want
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Niggas
Exactly.
want to
Yeah.
be in your
Exactly.
Lambo. And
Yeah.
you look good. So you about to get some
Hmm.
attention. Now what you gonna do with that
Yeah.
attention?
What you gonna do
Freeze
now?
up?
Yeah. What you gonna do now? Yeah.
So then now, bro, they didn't got the attention. They drove around for a while. They getting used to that shit. Then they pull up to the gas station, right? They've been driving buckets their whole life. So they go to grab the gas. They open the lid, and it's a yellow cap on that bitch. They say, what
Yeah.
is this? Premium
Yeah.
only.
Unlimited. Yeah. Unlimited. What happened to the unlimited?
Right. Premium only. They like, fuck.
Hmm.
My gas just went from 150 to 239,
Yeah.
nigga.
Exactly.
Like, god
Exactly.
damn. You know what I'm saying? And bro, like
For
I like
sure.
like I can go on and on with the car analogy,
No,
but
for sure.
but the thing is that sometimes as men and women, we're not all the way prepared for the thing that we want, you know?
Hmm.
And I think we're
Hmm.
not humble enough and introspective enough within ourselves to understand, hey, I don't really know what all that entails.
Yeah. What all marriage
So
entails.
so
Yep.
let me not just show up to the goddamn car dealership, drop 5,000 on the down payment, and then just
Hmm.
think this car is gonna be everything I want it to be. How about I
Yeah.
watch a YouTube video? How about I look up
Hmm.
some Carfax?
Yeah.
How about I study myself and
Right.
study this car before I just jump in it because I'm just tired of driving buckets. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like marriage is not as go with the flow as people think it is, bro.
No,
Like you have to
it's
do your
work.
research. You got to do the background checks. Like you said, you got to watch the YouTube videos, the tutorials before you think that you can just take that leap of faith. That's because that's what it is. You taking this leap of faith thinking that, oh, okay, well, I think I can handle this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just let it ride. No, you're not gonna let it ride. You're gonna let it crash if you don't know what your destination or where you're going or how to drive the shit. So
Right.
it's like the key is to make sure that you are content within yourself. Make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you end up looking stupid in front of everybody, jerking the shit out of goddamn Lamborghini.
Because you can't drive that bitch.
Exactly,
You
bro.
look pretty,
Exactly.
and niggas think you doing that shit on purpose. They don't know you inside fucking
Yeah.
that hoe up.
Yeah, you turn that shit up. Next week you will not have that hell no more. You'll be
Right.
back to buckets.
Next week, you back in your bucket. You
Yeah.
over there making up excuses for why you back in your bucket and
Yeah,
shit.
bro.
Yeah,
You back in buckets. Yeah. I
And,
yeah.
and really your driving skill set hasn't progressed past driving a bucket. And then you
Right.
jumped from a bucket to a Lamborghini instead of
With nothing in between to try to
and
figure shit
yeah,
out.
instead of grooming your skills, go get you a
Yeah.
Chevy.
Exactly,
Go
bro.
get
Yeah.
you an Audi. You know what I'm
You
saying?
tried to
Like
you
take
tried to
it
go from the call
slow.
center to the CEO. Doesn't work
Right.
that way.
You ain't got no skills. And
hmm
that's what I said on the last podcast, bro. You can't use skills you don't have.
Yeah.
And like people need to understand, like, hey, you may not necessarily be in a bad spot, but you may be in a underdeveloped spot.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because life may give you a chance, but when you fuck that up, you gotta humble yourself.
You got to look
It's,
at it
you
like,
know what I'm
all
saying?
right, all
It's
right.
like being on the football field, nigga show up, bro, I can lock down anybody in this bitch. And then the coach said, all right, bet, hold Julio. And you say, oh,
Yeah.
fuck. And then that nigga fucking tear your ass out the frame for 50 yards. And then they like,
Hey,
well, nigga, you gonna have to be on JV. But why?
hey,
Like,
look,
nigga,
that's
your feet are trash.
exactly, bro. The analogy we both can
Straight up.
agree on. If you go to the goddamn track meet, you get to the damn triple jump pit, and the board that starts at 41. The board starts at 41. You looking
It,
like, oh shit, that shit
yeah,
kind of
bro.
fucking far,
You
bro.
you taking off from a 40-foot board and your ass been jumping
Oh,
from 32
yeah, you
all
been going for
season.
32 all season. That's trash. Nigga, you running full speed. Like, I think I got this, and you looking fucking stupid when you don't have no bound. Nah.
That boy, you find out real quick how trash your second phase
Hey,
was.
exactly, bro. No, exactly, man. But no, yeah, I'm like I'm at the point to where it's like I don't mind, I just like you said, I don't mind buying the ring to show commitment, bro. Because I
Yeah,
feel like you like that's
for
cool.
sure. Yeah,
You deserve that. You
do that.
deserve that.
Do
But
that.
like the whole going to the even going to the courthouse, bro, because at that point you're still letting people govern you. I don't even have to have no wedding. Like if you just have to, and that's really just gonna make you the happiest woman in the world, we can do something. Okay, like I'm not gonna just negate the whole thing, but we
Right,
not finna be putting on no Medea wedding with angels hanging from us. We're not doing that. We're not doing all that.
right.
That money that we can put towards this wedding, or this money that we want to spend on this wedding,
Mm-hmm.
we could put that towards longevity, bro. Getting the house. We can do that towards, going on vacation, a honeymoon, bro. One of my boys said he finna go on a month long vacation, a 3 week vacation instead of having a wedding. That
Right,
makes more sense, bro, because you're
right,
able to spend more quality time with that person. You're using that money to help y'all progress as a union, bro. You don't
for
have to
sure.
have that ceremony to do all that. I just feel like it's a waste of money. It's a waste of stress because that
Mm-hmm.
stress could be put somewhere else, bro. It's like, yeah, I feel like those things you just don't have to do. I don't mind getting you a ring. I don't mind doing that because I feel like all that materialistic stuff, that's not going to really prove my love to you. And at
Right,
the end of the day, honestly, it's not even for you. It's for the people that are going to be attending that wedding, because you the ones that just got to stand up there and look good. You the ones stressing out to make sure that other people are good, but the whole ceremony is supposed to be about you. That's ass backwards to me. So I'm not really a fan of that portion of it. I don't care if I'm not, yeah, I don't care about the showing it off to social media, this, and this. At the end of the day, you got the ring on your finger. We together, we showing people how happy we are. And I feel like that's the ultimate goal. When people can really see genuine happiness between the two of you, then you really won, bro. Not that your wedding was huge and you had 200 people there. niggas had to, suited down, suited and booted all the way from head to toe. Like that's cool. I can do that shit on a regular day, nigga. Like
For sure.
if I really
Nah,
wanted to.
you
So
right. You sure
yeah,
right.
that doesn't it doesn't appease me.
Already. Nah, I feel it.
But yeah, I'm off that, man. But so I need let me run this one quote that I got off of Facebook from a very wise man in both of our lives, bro. That really they've been teaching us the ropes. This quote is, I mean, it makes 100% sense, bro. The greatest part of the marital relationship is when we actually become friends. Like that right there, bro. That's the whole foundation of being in a union with somebody. Until you can really call that person your friend, somebody that you know inside and out, somebody that you're gonna go to bat for at all times.
Hmm.
That's really the whole basis of the union, bro. Like that marriage, I understand. Like so, marital, that marriage aspect of it, that's when you're bringing in the outside bullshit. But whenever you two can really join together as one,
Hmm.
that I feel like that's whenever it's a win-win. Like you say, it's a win-win at that
It's a
point, bro.
win-win for sure.
It's a
Like
win-win.
I think the example I like to use as it relates to you and your partner being so in sync that you are meant for each other, or that you
Hmm.
have established a certain amount of investment in each other, is that if one of y'all was to get picked up, kidnapped, blindfolded, and taken somewhere random, right? And then
Hmm.
you get to the random spot and they unmask you and they say, if they talking to your girl, they was like, "Hey, we got Carlton, right?
Hmm.
You got to answer all of these questions right about him,
Yeah, about him. Yeah.
and we not gonna tell you what's happening, but we need to get the correct answers out of you. If we don't get the correct answers out of you about him, both of y'all dead." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And can that person know you well enough to not
Hmm.
know what the fuck is going on and still answer them questions correctly about you?
Correctly. Yeah.
You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like a whole situation on some drug cartel type shit,
Yeah. Exactly.
and they're able to answer those questions correctly about you for the
Hmm.
benefit of not only you but for the family, and
Right.
not just only think about themselves and bow out and fucking give your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
really be able to sit there with some poise and then
Hmm.
know and understand you so well as a human being
Yeah.
that
As a
they
person.
can
Yep.
answer all of them questions with a straight ass face, and they just they drop her right back off at home like ain't shit happened
Yeah. No harm. Yeah.
because she answered all them questions correctly.
Hmm.
And vice versa, the same thing from the man to the woman. Can you answer all of those questions about her correctly?
Yeah, and that takes time to really develop those type of senses, bro. Those type, just that energy. Period, bro. It takes time in order to build that up. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the ring on your finger, the ceremony that you had, the pastor that actually, the guest pastor that came to your wedding, none of that, none of that's really gonna matter until y'all know thyself at that point.
Right.
Until y'all know thyself,
For sure.
marriage should not even be in the conversation, bro. Even before marriage, like my thing that I always go by, and it really takes people, off guard, is when I say I don't really believe in like titles, bro, because like me calling you something does not give any kind of definitive status at that point. Because if we cannot establish who we are together, then that me calling you my wife, me calling you my girlfriend, that really does not mean anything. So I think people really got to just break it down to the simplest forms and facts, bro, to know what they want out of a relationship. There's no marriage without a relationship. So if you do have a strong relationship, there's no need to get married. There's no need to bring the business into it.
Right.
100%.